Okay, today I'm at my dad's house. I'm currently in the greenhouse or the old control room for the old magnifying transmitter. And I haven't really planned out what I'm going to be doing tonight. But tomorrow I do know I'll probably be baking a cake on my 1918 Detroit Jewel gas range that I installed the other day here at my dad's house. But let me show you where the new magnifying transmitter will sit. So here we are in the control room. It's a mess in here. This was my old greenhouse. I need to do some work on the roof. It's rotting over there. This was built in 2016 by me and my dad. Anyway, here's the ampere meter. This I was going to have go to variable resistive loads, and it was going to go into a motor, a direct current motor, to adjust the speed of the rotary spark gap, which turns on and off the circuit. Here's some wiring I did to go to this light fixture up here. Because after the haunted house fell, the tree house I used to have there, I kind of had to reroute everything. There used to be tubes going through the wall over here that would bring the power from the haunted house. The main fuse box for the haunted house is down here. That's why it's a mess in here. Because all this stuff, some of it came out of the haunted house. Why did this stick on here? But this is what I wired everything to. This was the fuse box for the haunted house. You can see where the mains came in right there. And this was for the range. See? This is an old Wadsworth fuse box from the 1920s. I had everything labeled too. So this fuse box is a 100 amp fuse box. Nowadays we have 200 amp services in the houses. But that's enough of that. Let's go see the site of the new magnifying transmitter. Here's the 50 kVA pole distribution transformer that's going to power it once again. And here are some commercial capacitors that worked with my last magnifying transmitter. I will have to use saltwater capacitors for this one until I get everything fine-tuned and dialed in. So I'll be making Topo Chico capacitors once again. Here's the well. I can see the very bottom of that well. That water is crystal clear. There's some object at the bottom of the well right there. I think that's a brick I dropped down there one time. So here's a little marker we have right here. The deck is going to go up here. There's the wood for the deck right here. Some 2x6s. And then the pressure treated planks that'll go on there. That's going to be the center of the new magnifying transmitter right there. The old magnifying transmitter used to sit right there. The center would have been about right here. This would have been the extra coil where I'm standing. Right about here. Or no, actually it was right here. The ball for the top of it is still right there. That's it. And there's where some of the wires attach there. This magnifying transmitter that I will build here will work much better than the last one. The fence posts will not influence the coil in any way. It will be separate from the metal fence posts. And the coil will be in better tune overall anyway. When I sent wireless electricity 918.6 miles from here in Carrollton, Texas to Chicago, Illinois to my friend Nick Matsukas, and he received the electricity on the magnifying transmitter I built over here, everything that could possibly be wrong with that magnifying transmitter was wrong, and it still worked. The extra coil was all out of tune. The only way it transmitted to Chicago was strictly by force, because the primary coil and secondary coil of the magnifying transmitter act as a giant signal generator. If you've ever watched that experiment I have performed on my dining room table at my apartment, where I feed a little coil with a signal generator, and I'm able to put 20 volts in and light a fluorescent tube, that is basically what's going on here, except to replace the signal generator, you have the primary and secondary coil, which also form a transformer, a step-up transformer. The bottom of the secondary connects to the ground, though, and the top connects into the extra coil. So that is basically what's going on here. And then I'm able to generate a alternating current path to the receiver coils, wherever they might be, and make the whole earth ring out like a bell. Except instead of a clapper striking a bell and making the bell ring, the earth could be compared to the bell. And the magnifying transmitter could be compared to the clapper. So instead of the clapper striking the bell to make it ring, we have the magnifying transmitter striking the earth to make it ring. And instead of sound waves, we're dealing with electricity here. So today's video will be quite boring, I would say, but tomorrow I'm probably going to cook some kind of cake on this 1918 Detroit Jewel gas range that I installed the other day. I went into an antique store. I don't know if y'all watched the video on that, and I bought it for $175. They had marked it at $250. I haggled with them and got it down to $175. I brought it home. I put this pipe on here, and I had already had... So there's a fireplace on the other side of there. We don't use it, so I replumbed it through the wall to come back here to what we call back kitchen. And so I have this Detroit Jewel gas range, and I have this Serval Electrolux gas-powered refrigerator. There is the flame in there doing the work right there. You can see it, that blue right over there. Let me just drop this door off really quick. I'm not really going to have to fix this right now. Like, could this not wait until after the camera wasn't rolling? Oh, okay, let me put this back on here. You better get on there. You bet. Oh. Okay, I need to put screws in this. That is the problem. There's no screws in this for some odd reason. I have no idea why there's not. Because, like, what? Who even does that? Okay, now we're going to put this on here. You better get on there. I'm testing my patience. Okay, that's on there. Let's open this. Oh, okay, we need to defrost this. So we'll just go ahead and... There's not even a tray in there. It's just ice. Okay, let's leave that open. So there are no moving parts on this fridge. The flame does the work. You can hear it in the back. It sounds like a coffee percolator. I don't know if y'all could hear that good or not, but it sounds like a coffee percolator back there. The flame boils the refrigerant, which is a mixture of hydrogen, ammonia, and water. If there is a leak in the refrigerant line, with the hydrogen being in there and there's a flame, that is not good news. Anyway, you've heard of the Hindenburg. Well, anyway, there's my own personal Hindenburg right there if this springs a leak, which it shouldn't, so it'll be fine. It's so cold in this thing, it froze this water underneath the ice compartment in this tray. But something is dripping water into this. Did it crack this? Oh no, there's water all in this. What the heck? Oh, and there's ice. Okay. It's too cold in this fridge. Let me turn down the flame. Okay, we're just going to turn down this flame a little bit. Okay, that should be good. the key with these flames, a lot of people are like, "Ah, you're gonna get carbon monoxide poisoning." Some people say carbon dioxide, but they don't know how gases work and what flames do. Flames take one bond of oxygen away and add carbon when they're burning from natural gas and stuff, making carbon monoxide. Anyway, but if you have a blue flame like that, you have complete combustion. So there is no CO or carbon monoxide emitted. And now for the finish of the video, I will play y'all a song on my 1870s Kimball pump organ. Okay, here we go. I don't know what song I'm going to play. I have to decide that right now. Okay, let's see. That was it.